It's not see-through, it's clear. The Gundam-based limited Pale Rider ground heavy equipment type clear collar. You can see this is a Gundam-based limited kit based on a 2015 kit. This actual variant was released in 2020. You can see it is a high grade, and right there is a quick snippet of the Gundam base on the box. Honestly, for a Gundam-based limited, they really do a great job marketing, unlike the premium bandai where they're pretty bland collars. Upon opening this box, you see there's not much plastic in this thing. It's very few runners. Most of the runners are small. However, when they come together, it makes one solid kit. Minus a couple of things, we'll get to that here in a few. Just to take a quick look at the runners, you can see that beautiful clear, a couple of variants of the blue, light and dark, that make up most of the difference. And then that's metallic injected, so expect a little bit of cleanup on runner C. Taking a look at the visor variants, you have a red and a teal. That's some different modes. And then getting into this weapon set is actually injected as well, minus the large 180mm cannon. And then a couple beam sabers that round out the kit. And of course, you got your polycaps and then the dreaded decal stickers. We'll talk more about that here in a few as well, guys. So here is a front view of it. You can see right there, I love this kit. It's beautiful. I love the collars, and there is enough inner frame that actually draws away from the fact that you can see through the kit. That is a metallic decal. Diving straight into the articulation, you can see nice movement on the head. Double ball joint at the neck to make up a nice posing head. You can do some side-to-side motions along with a 360 spin if you want to give it that owl look for whatever reason. The shoulder has a polycap that swings backwards, but there is some front motion as well that allows for some nice posing as well. 360 spin because there's no blocking at the shoulder piece. And then you can see you can elevate the arm some once you adjust that shoulder piece. It doesn't go very high up in the air, however, but then you have a 360 spin at the bicep, so you can make some arrangement or movement adjustments for that lack at the shoulder. Nice double bend at the elbow. That is nice for our high grade guys. And then of course we take a look at the hand. It is a ball joint. It's kind of like one of those additional longer pegs, so it is a little loose. Some rotation at the hip, however, the attachment for the large can on the back is blocked by the beam sabers. Some, as you can see, it just catches right there on the end. Unfortunately, that's what it is. The front skirt does lift up, move down. It is one individual piece, however, it does provide the option to cut in half if you want to make adjustments there. Now with the hips, there is a nice setup. On the side skirts you can see real quick too, they do flip up, but getting back to the hips, you can see how much rotation you have right there in them. They do swivel front side to side, so that does actually allow for additional articulation in the legs. Even though they're a little bit bulky and square, they actually have a nice movement up front. And if you move past the side skirt, they actually come up. Unfortunately, because of the back skirt being one piece that's non-moving, there is not much of a kickback behind it. So you do have limitation there. Getting into the knee though, nice double bend right there. You can see, great for that posing up on the stand. Moving down to the actual ankle is a long piece, is a double ball joint, and extended, so it allows for a little bit more range, moving around, a little bit more posing. And because of that larger polycap at the bottom there, it does allow for some side-to-side motion to add to a little extra oomph to your posing as well. Just another quick look at that bend right there at the knee, guys. Man, it's going to be great for some aerial posing. If you have an action base, this is going to be definitely one that you'll want to work in with the action base. Switching over to the accessories, we have the 90mm bullpup that just slides right here into the hands. That is the only position, that is the only set of hands that you have with this kit as well, just a pair of holding hands. But it slots right in there. This is molded in that metallic Jackson, so a little bit of cleanup for you guys. And switching over to the spike shield, just a simple slot right there on the back you can see, but it does have a 360 spin. And then one little articulation right here. Those spikes do extend out some, and you put them right back in, pull them back out, put them back in, and then we switch over. Slots right onto the arm, guys. You can see. And it sits in there nice and tight too. It's very snug, very secure. It can be a little bit difficult to get back off at times if you like to switch them out interchangeably. And then going over to the piece de la resistance, the 180 millimeter cannon that folds. That's right, it actually folds back so it can be stowed away on the back. But let's take a look. Unfortunately, it's not a gimmick where it just kind of swings around to fully extend. You do have two separate parts that kind of link in together. Something I wish that maybe Bandai could address with some like further upcoming kits with this same scenario. But it sits in there nicely. And then the attachment to the large cannon has a couple adjustments with the polycaps. It slots right there, right on the back of a peg that has a small connector piece coming out from underneath of the pack. I do know with the space type it actually utilizes both those. I believe on this one you can only put out to the one side. So, you know, unfortunately for posing, you have one side only. Some adjustment there, some articulation with the handle that allows for some posing. And it stays on there nice. It's pretty firm grasp against it, and a very large cannon. Switching over to storage of the cannon, it actually is stored on kit, so that's kind of nice, guys. So again, it just breaks apart like that. You can see, I actually forgot for a second that it doesn't swing because honestly it should. However, it just slots right in there. A little bit of struggles, but that's okay. And you can see it pops right in there. It has a brace that holds on. The brace kind of can come loose. However, it stays on there firm. And once you adjust it and have it set up where it's folded back away, you can actually slide it right up over top of that shoulder there. And of course, it does do a little bit of blocking on the articulation, but it is actually stored on the kit, and that's kind of a nice feature. Switching over to the last accessory, and it is the beam sabers. There is two that slot right there on the skirt. They are very interesting. Since these are clear, there is a bubble in the middle of the plastic. As you can see, just like any other beam saber, the beam effect slides right into it, slots into it, very firm grasp, and just slides perfectly into the hand. Once extended all the ways down, it slots in nicely. It holds it well and maintains it, and it's firm. I know right there it kind of fumbles around a little bit, but you have to push it all the ways down to get that full grasp on the beam saber. Once you're done with it, again, it is very snug, but once you are done with it, it slots right there into the skirt in a forward position, which is kind of unique. You don't have that standard on mini kits where you see the beam saber handle sticking forwards. A couple of my personal favorite things about this kit, of course, it is a P Bandai kit. However, since it's clear, you're not paying that markup price that the titanium finish usually has. And honestly, I still believe it has a good appearance, even being clear. There's a couple spots to see through, yes, but it's not that big of a deal. And then I also enjoyed the build, very simplistic. It is based on that 2015 kit, so you do have some things. And I would say I enjoy clear colored kits, I really do. The articulation in the double joint is phenomenal, and the weapon accessories are awesome. The only two complaints I would have with this, of course, is the decals. Unfortunately, there is a lot, and to switch between Hades and the normal mode, unfortunately, is just that visor and a bunch of color correcting decals. And then lastly, the other thing that I'm not quite fond on is the seam lines on the kit. Just like along the legs, and then also on top of the shoulder there, just some normal seam line areas. Nothing major. For the age of the kit, it's kind of expected. I want to say final thoughts on this kit. It's definitely recommended, worth the purchase. It is great. It's very inexpensive for a premium Bandai kit as well, guys. So I want to say thank you so much. If you made it this far, make sure you like if you got some value from this video. Until next time, love.